Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is DJ Collywood here on Power Music Radio, and I am honored and I have the pleasure of having a conversation, having the ability to have a conversation with an amazing artist from the Netherlands. Like I told you, we are going international, y'all. We're all over the world now, and this is an amazing singer, songwriter, musician, and he definitely has a wonderful story, and he has a new single as well as, I believe, a new album. We're going to be talking about that. So I just want to present to some and introduce to others all the way from the Netherlands, STEMIN. Hey, man.
Woo!
Woo!
Hi, man.
How you doing, brother, man?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
No problem. Thank
Great.
you so much for having the time to meet with us and to converse. So let's just, like I said, just let's just get right into it because
Cool.
yeah, because I love, I read your bio, I read up on just kind of, your background and everything, and I believe that you have a beautiful story, and so
Thanks.
definitely. So I just want our listeners, and for those who are going to be watching this, I want them to just learn about you, and you know, then we'll get into it. So let's just get into it. First of
Great.
all, let's start off with just letting our listeners and our watchers know who are you.
Good question. Who am I?
Yeah.
I am, as you said, I'm a musician who's trying to make my way in the music industry, which is kind of very difficult nowadays with in the times we live.
Mhm.
But um, yes, I have, I don't know where to start actually, but basically I'm making music my main occupation, let's say, every day. It's my bread and it's my job. It's my calling, I would say.
Okay. Mhm.
Yes.
So you are, it's like I said, you are a singer, songwriter, musician. You are, I want to say classically trained, but you're not necessarily classically trained, but you have been trained by some of the best. So you went to college for this. You already had the gift, but you went to college, and so you have the technical and the theory and
Aspects. Yeah.
everything behind it. So you know your intervals and all that stuff.
Yes, exactly. The theory behind it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I was classical trained when I was a kid, and then
Okay.
I moved into jazz education when I was older and did my
Okay.
bachelor and my master. And I kind of grow into this genre, which is now, I don't know how to define it, but it's a mix between soul, R&B, pop. So it has a lot of influences, what is actually shown there, so yeah, different styles, I would say.
Absolutely. And yeah, definitely the music, the singles that I have heard from you, definitely you've incorporated a lot of the soul and the jazz. You hear a little bit of pop, but you have a very strong jazz influence. You can tell. So
Yeah.
I love it. So now you were born in Switzerland.
Yes, exactly. I
All
was
right.
born in Switzerland, only born though, and because my father is from there,
Okay.
and they were actually living in Italy. So they moved in the 70s to Italy because, of course, there the weather is nice, the food is good, the people are
Mhm.
nice.
Yeah.
So they moved there, and we all grew up there. Sometimes I would go to Switzerland, and they went for my birth, basically. Yeah,
Gotcha. Okay.
I grew up in Italy, yeah, basically.
You grew up in Italy, and then how? So then, how did you end? You ended up in the Netherlands because of school, or yeah, how did you ended up being there?
In the Netherlands.
Hmm.
So I moved to the Netherlands because of work, and yes, that's where I stayed. Actually, the system is a bit better here than Italy. The artists and musicians are treated better. They are also have more social services, securities, job security in terms of teaching or working, doing concerts. So yes,
Okay.
yeah.
So do you find then it's interesting that you say that the Netherlands is better than Italy artistically because so do you feel that the art scene in Italy is a little bit more conservative or a little more classist than the Netherlands? The Netherlands is definitely more open and receptive to anything and everything. If it's art, it makes you feel good, looks good, then that's just what it is and it's appreciated.
Yes, exactly as you said is correct. In
Okay.
Italy, we have a lot of history, a lot of traditional music, and a lot of good things also from the point of view of arts.
Mhm.
But the resources are not there, so there are no ways how to actually flourish, let art flourish basically nowadays, and
Okay.
that is a big problem for a lot of artists, not only musicians, but everything in the art
Okay.
industry. Yeah.
That's interesting.
And the
Okay.
Netherlands has actually a policy of investing into art every year. Every year, the government funds arts. So there's another concept behind it, another mentality. Let's say, yeah.
Interesting. Okay. That's very interesting to hear that. Okay. All right.
There are a lot of actually there are a lot of musicians from all over the globe that come to the Netherlands just because of that. A lot of festivals happen here because there's really like something going on. Even though there is no actually traditional music here,
Mhm.
they nowadays call musicians, artists to come here and express themselves. Yeah.
Okay. So so is it safe to say that you found your placement in soul music in the Netherlands?
Well, I kind of I can say that I gave birth to I finalized the product, I finalized the project here.
Okay.
But it, of course, it started with all the influences I had as a kid, listening to a lot of Stevie Wonder, Prince, Donnie Hathaway, and then of course jazz as well. And that would just construct or build my vocabulary. And here I had a chance to record, to find musicians, and strong network.
Awesome.
Yes.
What was now it's interesting because you started falling in love with jazz at a young age. So like how did that even come about? Like what was your first experience with jazz music?
Good question. Actually, I can say that maybe it all started with okay, my parents were listening to some jazz, mostly classical, but also jazz. And I guess it started with Disney movies. They have a lot of
Okay.
jazz influence,
Okay.
like Pinocchio. A lot of movies have jazz influences, the harmonies and the melodies with these nice strings. The swing, of course, is always there.
Yeah.
So I'm talking about like the old style Disney movie, not now, not the new ones. Um, but yeah, so I guess that's how I really got into this music. I was like, what is this music? This is different than classical. It has like a groove, it has a vibe, it has something that is really communicating to me. And
Yeah.
also the improvisation behind it, and the fact that let's say every vocalist or every instrumentalist plays it differently,
Yeah.
interprets it differently. That was the thing. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Okay. And then when it came to soul music, I think you mentioned Donnie Hathaway earlier, and even in your
Yeah.
bio, I noticed that you talk about Donnie Hathaway a lot. So I'm taking it that Donnie Hathaway is definitely one of your I'll say your mentors, one of your
Yes.
that go-to artists. Like I just yeah. Um, when was the first time you heard Donnie Hathaway? How old were you, or what was your first experience when it came to soul music, to R&B, black music?
I was around the age, I think 8 or 9, something like that, around that age. And yeah, we would have this old cassette at home. And Donny Hathaway was on this. It was kind of a compilation of some tracks. And what really struck me in his performance is his brokenness. There's something that comes over that is really like
Yeah,
broken in his voice, and the way he sings is so like soulish, and that's what really captured my attention in the end. So yeah, she's definitely a big influence for me.
yeah, it's true. Every time that I hear a Donny Hathaway song, and other people who love Donny Hathaway, like everyone gets so emotional. It's just
Mhm.
something like it's something about his voice. It captures your emotions immediately. So yeah,
Exactly.
definitely one of my favorites. All right, so
Definitely.
now let's get into the music, your music.
Yeah.
Let's get into your artistry. So let's do that. All right. And for
Yeah.
those of you who are just tuning in, This is DJ Collywood here on Power Music Radio, and I am here with R&B soul artist all the way from the Netherlands, STEMIN. All right, and he has a new single out entitled "Better Than Wine."
Yes.
But
so
yeah, go ahead.
I can explain really quick why I chose this title.
Go ahead.
Actually, yeah, I chose Better Than Wine because it has a lot of references with love. So they both have similarities in the way the effect they have on humans, on us. So they can be used and abused, or they can have a good effect, an exciting effect, or they can have a really bad effect if we exaggerate with either one of them. So the song talks about actually looking for somebody. I was walking down the street in the city, and I was looking for somebody. And in the end, the image that I'm trying to give is that I'm looking for myself. So I'm trying to look for the true myself. So who am I? Where am I going? Like, yeah, what's my real me? What's my real story and my real identity? So the song is inspired by that, and how wine represents something that stops me from being myself, and it can be related to all things like weird relationships, emotional emotional relationships that are not healthy for us, or just like stuff that happened to us in the childhood, stuff that happened to me in the childhood that I have to get rid of. And so love is better than wine, even though relationships, or let's say if we have a relationship with our parents, and sometimes they look really healthy, but sometimes it's really like an emotional, I'm depending emotionally from them, and that doesn't make me grow. So that's like an example.
Oh yeah, that dependence, that dependency, the emotional dependency, the codependent, that thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So I get that. So better than wine. So love is better than wine. So love. So you, as, because I noticed that as artists, you know, I'll say pure artists, true artists, they'll write material, or they'll release songs that come from their personal experiences, you know, directly with what's going on. So when it comes to love, when was the moment that you just said, you know what, okay, I do, like I said, I have to love me, like this is because if I can't love me, then I'm not going to be able to love someone else. You know, what was that moment in your life that you had that epiphany?
Well, that was, I guess, around 3 years ago. I was actually coming out of a toxic relationship. I was actually coming out of a marriage, because I got married very young, and this because I was just comparing myself to my older brothers and sisters and how they do life, and I was trying to keep up and doing the same things, but I forgot about myself and about my ex, and that wasn't healthy at all, because I was always trying to run from something, and that's why it got to a toxic point where I couldn't bear it anymore, neither me nor her. So I realized I have to love myself, not in a selfish way, but in a good way, in a healthy way, and then I can love others. Otherwise, it's just not a real love. It's just, I don't know what it is. It's just a toxic emotional connection.
Yeah. And it's okay to, to love yourself. You know,
exactly.
You know, it's not a selfish thing. So this part of your self-care. So, you know, I think that everybody has to get to a point where they allow themselves to just appreciate and value who they are and be okay with that. So then they'll be able to get into a situation where the love isn't about, okay, you're making me, but we're building this together, you know? So I get that, man. So
as a relationship, as a family, as a society, even, because
absolutely,
that's so important. So
absolutely. All right. And again, better than wine, very, very jazzy. you know, you definitely, you definitely have the, I would say the jazz chops. I guess that's what,
Yeah.
if that's the right, the right phrase for it.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, but I love the way that that you put that together. Now you wrote the, of course you wrote the lyrics, correct?
Yes,
All right.
lyrics and music.
Okay, you did
I
the music.
actually write on the piano mostly because I also was trained classical and jazz piano.
Okay.
But what I do is I sit down on the piano, I write it, and then I always say the song has to work in an acoustic way. So it has to work when you
Mm-hmm.
play it on the piano. And then you go with the band, you rehearse it. You can still change things around, or then you record a demo and then you send it to the producer. So, you know, there's some steps you want to do, but still, in my opinion, the song has to work on the piano in an acoustic way. You just
Okay.
sit, you play it, and then, yeah, it should work.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, it definitely worked out well. It's a great song, man.
Thanks. Thank you.
Um, and then you have another song that you released prior to that,
Yes.
entitled "Closer."
Closer. Yes. Yeah.
So yeah. So what is "Closer" about?
Closer is about getting close to somebody.
Okay.
So it's about refusing um, our own prejudice and everything that stops us from going to that person.
Okay.
So a lot of limitations we put on ourselves, a lot of judgment we put on ourselves, thinking I'm not enough. I cannot love this person. I cannot be that person or that friend, that family member, that co-worker, whatever
Yeah.
it is for that person. So Closer is about really getting loose of those limitations and stepping up and growing closer.
All right. And
I know
again,
it's not a good time to grow closer now physically because of the time we live in, but it can be also, you know, mentally and
yeah,
emotionally. Yeah.
yeah. Well, there's still ways to grow closer. We just have to, I guess, grow closer, you know, and stay socially distanced.
Yeah. Yes.
If
Yes.
that makes sense, yeah. But I'll tell you, closer. It's such an you have like a really authentic R&B sound with that track. Uh,
Thanks.
yeah, definitely. And I love those R&B chord progressions that you had. You know, it actually when I was listening to it, it made me think a little bit of like not that you were replicating it, but it kind of made me think of like John B.
Yeah.
It made me think of Gwen Bunn from Atlanta. I don't know if
Yeah.
you have, so it made me think of, you know, that kind of like that neo
Yeah. The
soul.
flow. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, this song is funky, you know.
Great.
So
Thanks.
yeah, so I definitely enjoy that song. And so we're definitely going to be pushing that on the Power Music Radio spins.
Spins. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah. Great.
Um, So, but now I want to talk a little bit also about your album. Now, your album is entitled "Tell Your Heart."
Yes.
All right. Now, is it already released, or are you about to release it?
No, it's going to be released 28th of August.
Okay. Okay.
So if you want to then sign it. No, basically it's called Tell Your Heart. I don't know. It always has to do with this thing of the heart and the
Mm-hmm.
feelings, but I don't know. I feel like really it's a topic that sticks to me and that it's really dear to me.
Absolutely.
Um, so it's as the title says, tell your heart. You can tell your heart a lot of things. You can tell your heart good things and bad things, and it also describes different stages of dating someone.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of also did, yeah. I try to explore that area as well, the different feelings involved when you date someone. So there's excitement, there's sadness, there's expectations, there is fear maybe sometimes, and then yeah, there's different feelings involved. So I
Okay.
try to explain it also and describe it into the songs. Yeah.
Okay. And with this new project that's going to be coming out, what is your goal? Like, what is it that you intend? Not you intend, but what is it that you hope that the listener gets from this album?
Well, um, the main intent is to really listen to yourself, to your heart, and love yourself, and from there on grow. So grow into your passions, into your dreams, into your goals. What is your passion? What is your goal? Your vision for your life? I mean, we all come from different environments, different regions, different countries. We can do the best with what we have, and we can go for our dreams without comparing ourselves to anybody, but just like be natural and be genuine in what we do. Right. So yeah, and it starts from the heart, of course. That's why
always,
the heart,
always starts from the heart, yeah. So I think there's a biblical scripture, a biblical passage that says, "Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks." So it starts with the heart. Yeah. Now I do notice that also, and I love that you're very empowering. That it sounds like, and it seems like, and just from just connecting with you and your vibe, that you really are about empowerment. And I noticed that I was reading something that you seem to talk about, or you really focus on the voice. So not just the singing voice, but the overall inclusivity of the voice, and you said something that was, the voice is an all-powerful instrument. And then you said something about the voice connects with the soul and becomes the audible expression of it.
Yes, exactly.
All right. So what would be, when you did this project, and then we'll actually talk about, because I forgot to bring up the project that you did prior, because I'm interested in that one too. So we're going to talk about that real briefly, just so our listeners will know. What was in your soul?
What was in my soul?
Yeah, what was in your soul that allowed your musical projects to become that audible expression? What exactly was in your soul? What is the thing that you want? What is your empowerment thing?
Yeah, actually, you say right. It's about empowering yourself, but not by being like. Sometimes it helps when you say, I'm strong, I can do this. And, but I think it goes deeper. It goes really deeper into yourself. And they say that if you show your weaknesses, you're strong. And I think I really agree with this. I always compare myself to others, my family, and I was trying to keep up. And I tried to please them some way, and being the good guy and all that, and I was really hiding. And people around me, my friends who knew me well, they said, who are you? What are you doing? Like, what is your passion? Like, why are you doing what you're doing? So they started this, they gave me the idea, the intention to question everything and be like, why am I doing what am I doing?
Mm-hmm.
And, so if you show your weaknesses, I think it's a strength. You make yourself vulnerable for other people to look into your life and do the same, because we all, I think, need to do that every day. The person that I meet and at the store needs that. The person that I meet on the train. It's all about being human and being vulnerable and showing that we are all the same in the end. There's no better or worse person. We all struggle with the same. It might be different, but in the end, we struggle with the same. So being loved, looking for love, connection, belonging, all those things. So my soul definitely I stopped hiding. And that's why I say the voice, you cannot hide the voice. You cannot, if you play, for example, the guitar, electric guitar, you can hide behind an amplifier. You just put an effect on it and then the sound comes differently out. But with the voice, you can try to hide it, but you're not real. So, and the voice comes out automatically, so you cannot hide it. That's why it's directly connected to that.
Right. Absolutely. And I know you always touch on love, and so love, and I appreciate that, because right now I think that we are in a situation just worldwide, that we really need to tap more into love, loving one another, of course, loving ourselves, and realize how powerful true, authentic, unconditional love is, So, and I'm glad that you're using your platform and your gifts to share those messages with the world. So please keep it up, man. This is good.
Yeah.
All right. So we're going to change topics. Oh, real quick before we do that, I know that you did just for those who are going to be listening or watching, they're going to be going back to check out your projects. In 2017, you did release your first project, and we should have talked about that first, but I got so excited about your new project and your singles, I forgot to bring it up. So you released your first project entitled, again, y'all, Love Through My Eyes.
Yes.
And that was your independent, your first independent project. Quickly, what was your motivator towards this project? What was like your muse, and what was the overall? Well, I'm sure love was the overall theme, but if there was another thing, what other themes did you have going on in this project? Your first one.
Wow, that's a good question. It's basically a description of my old relationship. So I try to put it into lyrics and music, and I picked the image of gold and how gold needs to be refined in order to become pure. You find gold in nature, but it's not refined. You have to refine it. Yeah. And the same with love. If you want a love that lasts, you have to refine it, work on it. Yeah. And so that was the thing behind it. It was definitely also a message to my ex, but explaining everything. So it's kind of, that has a lot of references. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I love it. Okay. So we're good. All right. So we're going to switch topics real quick. All right. So for those of you who are just tuning in, this is DJ Collywood here on Power Music Radio, and I am here with R&B soul recording artist STEMIN. All right, and he's all the way from the Netherlands, and we're talking about his new project entitled "Tell Your Heart," which will be released. You said August 28th of this year.
Yes, right. Exactly.
All right, and we're gonna make sure, please check out his new singles, "Better Than Wine," which was just recently released, and "Closer." Two great singles, R&B, jazzy, a hint of pop, but very jazzy, and it makes, they're both feel good songs, so you're definitely going to enjoy that. All right, so now you're out there in the Netherlands. How are you dealing with the this whole COVID-19 thing? How are you dealing with that, especially as an artist? How are you remaining creative and artistic and stuff? How's everything going?
Yeah, well, it all started already in March already. Yeah, and it quickly was escalating right away. So they stopped completely doing concerts, gatherings, anything, festivals, of course, it's all canceled until next year. So I try to record from home here. I have piano, guitar, everything, my recording stuff. I try to work with different people from all over the world, from Spain, Italy, Germany, and try to, it was super hard because when you record yourself and you play and then the other person has to play and record, the dynamic and the interplay is not it's not strong actually. Yeah. So, but yeah, I tried to do my best with that. I was teaching some lessons online, and of course I was working on the album, doing all the promotion, the final works, and that was also what gave me the inspiration. And actually Closer was supposed to be released in March, and then the whole thing happened, and we decided, okay, let's wait. And then in June I said, okay, it's enough, let's not wait anymore. Let's publish this. And yeah, so it was kind of hard, and it is still hard because, as I said, concerts are not being done yet until next year, maybe, we don't know.
I know that's what's hard. Everything is so, we're in this moment of the unknown. No one knows anything.
Yeah, exactly.
So have you been doing any virtual concerts or anything?
I've done some live sessions, yes,
Okay.
which were good, but not the same. I mean, there's no
Yeah.
feedback from the people. There's no interaction,
Yeah.
nothing. It's, yeah.
Yeah. Because you're one of. It seems like you're one of those artists. You love the emotional connection between
Yeah.
you and the audience. You need that.
The energy that comes from the people, you know, like
Absolutely.
people
Absolutely.
screaming or whatever they do, you know, you see
Yeah.
them, look them in the eyes, and yeah, so yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, um, I think you answered this. So I'm going to move on with this question because we talked about that earlier at the beginning of your interview. Um, Let me ask you. You you speak 5 different languages, correct?
Try.
I'm not going to
No,
ask you to
so
speak anything, but it's just
well, it's a big word. No, I mean, okay, so Italian, yes, and
Okay.
German because our parents would speak to us in German.
Okay.
But then, okay, Spanish is kind of close to Italian. I couldn't write it at all. I
Okay.
can speak, but yeah, not really complicated stuff. So
Gotcha.
yeah,
Okay.
and
Gotcha.
that's it. And then, okay, English we learn in school, and then the music, everything, yeah, in English, yeah.
Oh man. Okay. So either way, you're gonna have a job. So
Yeah,
you're good.
thanks.
All right. And let me ask you, and this will be our final question.
Yeah.
Um, if you had the opportunity to work with anyone right now, like who would that be? Like who would be your ultimate collaboration, or what would be your ultimate collaboration?
My one and only. No, I right now I will go with PJ Morton.
That's the guy. Yeah.
He's also one of my inspiration, and I just love what he's doing. He's been consistent and honest with his music,
Yeah.
true to himself. So yeah, definitely PJ Morton. If you're hearing this, call me.
Right. Well,
Or
you never know.
if somebody knows him.
You never know. But I'm gonna
Yeah.
tell you, it's interesting that you say that he's one of your top guys that you would love to work with, because I think you and him both are very similar with your messages, because I think he really talks about love as well. I think that's one of
Yeah,
his thing where
yeah,
and
exactly.
especially
Yeah,
coming from, coming out the church,
yeah,
for him and being
yeah,
able to show, I'm a church kid, I'm a PK, but at the
yeah,
same time, I have feelings. I know what love is. I want to get married. And so, yeah. So that's interesting.
yeah. His
Very
work is
interesting.
amazing. He's also including a lot of artists, and that's what I like. I like to collaborate.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's great. Yeah,
All right. Well, you never know. All right. So,
I never know.
brother PJ Morton, if you're watching this, get in contact with this brother. He wants to work with you. He's good.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right.
People judge.
You're good. You are good. All
Thanks.
right. So, what are your social media? How can people get in contact with you? How can people follow you? What is your social media links and stuff?
I'm mostly active on Instagram because it's easier also to post stories sometimes when you're around and you want to say something. So I'm mostly on Instagram through STEMIN Official. And
Okay.
actually, if you look STEMIN Official everywhere, you find me somehow. Or I guess you're gonna tag me, so I can just go here.
Yeah, we'll make sure.
Yeah.
I'll make sure we'll put your information on the bottom of the
Great.
descriptions
Amazing.
in that part. All right. Are there any final words? If there is, since you are you know what? You're also, add this to your resume. You're a motivational speaker as well.
Okay,
All right.
thanks.
So all right, because you do the whole empowerment thing. So before we go, for those who are watching and listening, just give them a quick word of empowerment. What is in your heart at this moment that you want the whole world to just hear and know and to feast on.
Okay. Yes. Look into your heart. be honest to yourself and look into your heart and see who you are. And you're gonna find yourself, not build up thing, not made up thing by others, but yourself. And go for that passion, go for that love, for that thing that drives you and that, yeah, pushes you and inspires you. And of course, be kind and safe and be kind to others. Yeah. You never know in life, you know, you never know who you're meeting. You never know. So, yeah.
All right. Thank you very much. Y'all heard it. Y'all heard it from the man himself. All right. But it's very, very true. So please, you know, I'm going to piggyback off of what he says. Yeah. Just please be kind to one another, respect one another, love, you know, show love. And just know that love, it does cover a multitude of sins. It heals, and it just does a lot of wonderful, wonderful things in our lives. So,
yes, preach
all
it.
right. That's amen. That's right.
Amen. Preach it. Amen. Amen. I agree.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. That concludes our conversation for today. Please also follow us, Power Music Radio, on our social media platforms. We are on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at the PMR Crew. Again, that's the PMR Crew. Remember, the word crew is spelled with a K. Also, check out our website at www.powermusicradio.com. And remember, the word music is spelled with a Z. And on our website, you'll find a lot of interesting information. You'll find out about some new music, our community calendar, and a whole bunch of other things. And you can also get some power thoughts that will help to encourage you for the day. All right. So I'm going to be signing off. And again, this is DJ Collywood here on Power Music Radio with R&B soul recording artist star STEMIN, all the way from the Netherlands.
Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, hope that you all have a wonderful day. And STEMIN, thank you so much for joining us too, man. I really appreciate you, man. Thank you for sharing and being so transparent. And
thank you for having me and for sharing my heart. Thank you.
We appreciate you. All right, signing off. This is DJ Collywood here on Power Music Radio, where R&B music is our universal language. Keep it locked.